Yes, there we go. So, very special time of the year that comes thrice and it's made of 10 days. A festival which is of 10 days. Which festival are we currently celebrating? Dash
Paryushan Parva.
Paryushan Parva, जिसको दशलक्षण पर्व भी कहते हैं. Okay, Samyak, is that what you wanted to say? Dashalakshan means there's no Dashalakshan dharma. Yeah, Dashalakshan parva. That does not mean dharma is of 10 types. There's 10 different highways which we can take on the path of dharma. No, there's 10 distinct characteristics of dharma. Okay, and today is the 8th day of Dashalakshan dharma. Who remembers which is the 8th day? 8वां दिन कौन सा है? Who remembers all the 10? Come on. If you don't, Sanvi अपना video on कर लो. Who is B? Mr. B, whoever that is. Yes, bolo. Bolo Samyak.
Just and
Uttam, Kshama, Mardhav, Arjav, Satya,
uh,
Shauch,
uh,
Saiyam,
yeah,
Tap,
Yeah.
yeah.
Tyag. Tyag. All right. Is that Arham? That is Uttam Tyag. So at your end, it might be Uttam Tap because you're one day behind us. Okay. So it's either Tap for you, it's Tap for me, it's Tyag today. Okay. So what does Tap mean? Austerity. And the king of all the Taps is काल में जिन्होंने बहुत तप किया. That was Acharya Vidyasagar. What does the name Vidya mean? Vidya means knowledge, and Sagar is a deep ocean of knowledge. And do you know what his guru's name was? His guru's name was Acharya Gyan Sagar. So ज्ञान किसको कहते हैं? जो आत्मा में है, जो आत्मा का स्पेशल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक है. So like that, India has lost a very, very special Acharya, okay, whose name was Vidyasagar Acharya. And may we all walk on the path of the five Parmeshtis, walk on the path shown by the sadhus, which teach shown by the Arihants, followed by the sadhus, which leads us to become, come on,
Siddha.
Siddhas. Excellent. Is Tara the only one who's awake? बाकी सारे बच्चे सो रहे हैं क्या? चलिए, let us continue. We will continue with our Vitarag Vigyan part 2. Yes. All right. All right. So we had finished the Ashtadravyas, Jal, Chandan, Aksha, Deep, Dhoop, Phal, and Arghya. We had covered all those, and then we were looking at the wishful reflections, the 12 bhavanas, out of which we saw the Anitya bhavana, which is transient, everything is impermanent. Can everyone see my screen? Screen दिख रही है सबको? Excellent. We saw the Asharan bhavana, which means no one can give us shelter. Sansar bhavana means there's nothing but pain. Pain, pain, and more pain in one form or the other. Okay. Then we saw Ekatva, I am alone. And all our sadhus, okay, Acharya Shri also, at the end of his life, he had jaundice. So jaundice is this disease of the liver, okay? And he had become very, very weak. And he was taking, he took to Samadhi Bhavana. He did 3 upavas. He did not, he barely ate anything anyways, okay? And in the last 3 days of his life, he took 3 upavas and then he surrendered to his soul. बस अपने आत्मा में वो लीन रहते थे. So he contemplated on the 12 bhavanas. I am alone. I am different from everyone else. He's got millions of followers, not just in India, but all over the world. And do you think he got carried away by his followers? No, he never. Okay, he stayed in his own soul. And then ekatva, anyatva, ashuchi. So ashuchi means how the body is very impure because the body is made up of gold and silver. True or false? Body is made of precious metals. No, the body is made up of the yuckiest. It's called Saptadhatu. Like we have blood, we've got plasma. Okay, and there's 9 openings on the body. Okay, which constantly are flowing. Like we've got the tears which keep flowing, the ears which have fluids inside, and that's what make the wax. The 2 nostrils, the mouth which has got saliva. Okay, then from where you pee and from where our stools come out. Those 9 openings are constantly flowing day and right from the time we were born until death. Okay? And why is it called waste matter? Because nothing of importance comes in. Okay, just like that, the body is made up of Ashuchi Tattva. Ashuchi means impure. Okay, so Ashuchita means impurities. We eat the best food, but it comes out as the most impure form, as excreta. Then afterwards, now today we will see some of the 7 tattvas. Asrav tattva, all day and all night. What am I doing? I'm just doing moha, rag, and dvesh. And I am gathering these inauspicious tattvas, asrav ho raha hai, okay, of punya and pap. The door of the influxes has been kept open. Okay, man, your mind, your vachan is your words, and kai is your actions. All these three are attracting only karmas. So imagine once I told you, imagine like you are the most powerful magnet in the whole wide world. Okay, and what are you attracting? Your thoughts, words, and actions are going to attract karmas at all times. Okay, out of 7 karmas, how many karmas are we attracting throughout our life? Any idea? Out of 8 karmas, how many karmas we attract? 7 at all times. And it's only the one Ayu karma, the karma of lifespan, which we attract just once. Okay? So, Asrav, we are constantly inviting these karmas. What is the only way to stop inviting these karmas? What can we do? That is sour. Okay, my innermost burning has been all sorts of punya and pap. Now let the rays of right belief, once samyak darshan happens, and once you are engrossed in your soul, there's no scope for the karmas to be attracted. Because remember, karmas come to you only when your thoughts are good or bad. But when you are in samta, when your thoughts are neutral, neither good nor bad, neither punya nor pap, that's when savar happens. Okay? What happens after savar? That's nirjara. When the tapa or the austerities, the self discipline increases, that provides fuel for all our karmas. Okay? And that burns away or destroys the karmas and brings peace into the soul, everlasting peace. So all the past karmas go away. So we saw 3 important things. One is lots of karmas coming because of our words, thoughts, and actions. Second, we are engrossed in our soul and the karmas stop coming. Okay, you've placed a stopper there, no more new karmas. And third, when the purity of the soul increases, all the past karmas also go away. So we saw Asra, Savar, and Nirjara. Then there's a lok bhavna. Okay, we all live in this world which is called teen lok. Okay, and let us all leave these 3 loks and go and rest right on the top of the lok where is the siddhashila. Okay, and let that place on siddhashila be my home, and let me enjoy elimination, the destruction of all sadness. Let me witness that I have destroyed all the shackles of karmas and I am experiencing only peace forever. Okay? So no more death at all. That is the lok bhavna. All the 3 loks, be it the heaven, the hell, or the manushya lok where we live, all the 3 loks are full of pleasure, pleasure, and pleasure. True or false? Big
False.
false. Nothing but pain. And sometimes we feel pleasure. But you know what that pleasure is? That pleasure is just subsidence of the pain. Like you feel like the pain has been numbed. Okay? So there's no pleasure at all. There's only pain. That is what the Lok Bhavna tells us. There is no place in this whole wide world where I can find pleasure except for in my dash. Come on.
So,
Except for in my soul. Beautiful, Sanavi. कहीं दूसरी जगह पर शांति नहीं है. After the Lok Bhavana, we come to Bodhi Durlabh. See, Bodhi means wisdom, and Durlabh is rare. What is this rare wisdom? That the 3 gems of faith, Samyak Darshan, Samyak Gyan, Samyak Charitra. They appear in their full glory, full blown Samyaktva. Okay? And what happens? The darkness of Moha goes away. But in this world, look, I'm sure you also must be seeing. How many gens do you see around? Yes, Jia. Bolo beta.
If we want to get rid of both Hop and Punya, how can we say, like doing good deeds is good?
Okay. So when I say doing good deeds is good. Arhan, I'll come to you. 1 minute, beta. I'll just finish her question and come to you. Doing good deeds is good as compared to bad deeds, right? Okay. What happens with good deeds? Where will it lead us to? Ta-da! Come on. कहाँ जाएंगे हम अच्छे काम करके?
Devgati.
Devgati. That's where, as further up to Devgati, that's where it can take us. What happens when we do pap karma? It'll take us to, come on, come on. It'll take us to either Tiryansha or Naragati. So Devgati and Naragati, these are the two places to go. Okay? The good and bad karmas. But here we are talking of getting rid of all the four gatis. Because we've been in the four gatis for way too long, and we've all realized in Lok Bhavna we studied that there's no place where you can find even a teensy bit of pleasure. Yes, what is Tara saying? Lok Bhavna says we want to enjoy being in Siddhashila, but aren't Siddhas too engrossed in their soul to be happy? Well, Siddhas are so happy because they are engrossed in their soul. Okay? The happiness of Siddhas is unobstructed because it does not come from outside, because they don't have the five senses which you and I have. Got it, Tara? Your and my happiness, well, there's no happiness, but the so called happiness we say, okay, that has so many obstructions and it's very impermanent, it's very transient. All right. So, in the three loks, we will never find happiness anywhere. And what is Bodhi Durlabh? This wisdom of discrimination, कि आत्मा अलग है और शरीर अलग है. This is so rare in this whole wide world. Yes, Arhan, your question, beta.
I don't have a question, but I do have the answer for the question you asked.
All right, sure.
Probably you'll see like 10 or 11 gens, like at least, or maybe as much as 50
Yes, look.
in like 1,000 of
Yes,
Indian people.
yes, that's just what I wanted to tell you. Okay. In like over the 7+ billion people all over the world, there's such few gens, right? The number of gens is very few. Amongst those gens, there's fewer who actually follow Jainism, right? We might all be Jains by our last name, but so few actually follow the path. Many of us go to Mandirji, we will learn Shastra. Many kids might be going to Pathshala, but there's only very few who really want to go to Moksha. And Jia, coming back to your question here, you know what? A lot of them follow Jainism because they want more punya in their life. And why do they want more punya? Because they want more pleasures. They want to become a richer person. They want more fame. And if they're students, they want more marks. Okay? So there's constantly people there who end up as beggars in the mandirji. And that's one thing right from day one we've been discussing, isn't it? We do not ask anything from God. There's way too many beggars out there in the world. What is one thing which we only have in our hearts when we go to Mandirji? Tara, I'll come to your question in a second. Who wants to answer this? What is the only intention we should have when we bow down to Bhagwan or when we say the Namokar mantra? Bolo, Tara? Shiranshi?
We should have the intention to say that Bhagwan is our role model and that we want to follow him on the same path.
Exactly. What does anyone remember the three words I say very often? Vande, Vande. Why do we bow to Bhagwan? Vande, yes, Samyak knows. I knew you would know it, Samyak. Labdhe. Vande is I bow down to. That's the good. All I want is the good qualities like you have. Well, you know what? Even we have those qualities. But our qualities, we are a pure soul like Bhagwan, but we aren't a perfected soul like Bhagwan. So I want those perfected qualities like you. Labdhaye means I would like to attain those qualities, the form of those qualities like you. Okay, Jia, did you get the answer? Why? Uh, so Punya is better as compared to Pap, but both of us keep us in Sansar. And we've discussed this very many times that Punya is it's a fetter, it's a chain of iron, and Pap is one of gold. And which chain would you like to be bonded by? A gold one? None, isn't it? Or it's like a cage. The soul is in this cage of Pap and Punya. In Narak, it is in this cage of Pap, okay, where it's constantly experiencing pain. And in Swarg, it's in this cage where there's lots of sense pleasures. So which cage would you feel free in? None, isn't it? Right? Excellent. Let's go forward. So that was Bodhi Durlabh. Yes, Sarah? Bolo beta.
Do all Jains eventually go to moksha, or do some just stay in
Good
No.
Sansar?
question.
Nope.
Yeah,
Nope.
you. Okay, Samyak says no, a bold no there. I'll tell you what, Tara. You do not have to be a giant to go to.
Oh,
Sorry, वापस बोलो Samyak.
not all Jains go to moksha.
All right, do you want to complete who would go to moksha? All right, listen to me then. Okay, so you're right. Not all Jains go to moksha. And the reverse. Not everyone who goes to moksha has to be a Jain. Okay, who remembers the definition of a real Jain? And it is, yes, I want everyone to remember it, because if you don't get this, there's no point of coming to class. Yes, Arhan, Samyak, koi bhi bolo. Quick, who's a Jain?
Jain.
Yes,
Person who goes into the soul.
the person who goes in where? In a
The
restaurant?
soul.
In a soul.
Oh.
Everyone who goes into their soul, who surrenders into their soul, is a Jain. You do not have to be born in a Jain family. But aren't you and I so lucky to be born in a Jain family and to know about Jinendra Bhagwan? Okay? Right, Thara? So there's so many Jains there who know about Mahavir Bhagwan, who worship Mahavir Bhagwan, but still they might not realize that ahimsa is the best thing to follow. And what's the point if I'm worshipping Mahavir Bhagwan or the 24 Tirthankars with arghyas every day? See how we learn the 8 arghyas, Jal Chandan Akshat? Every single day they pray to God, and coming back from the temple, you are engrossed in the 5 sense pleasures and in Hinsa, Jhoot, Chori, Kushil, Parigraha. Do you think it'll take us to moksha? No. And in this second part of Vitarag Vigyan, this is a very, very amazing text for everyone. We are going to learn, we are Jains, but are we really following Jainism? Or are we engrossed in the Sapta Vyasan, the 7 sins? What do you think? Uh, does anyone think that we are sinners? No? No? We are going to learn this. Okay, it's very, very interesting and something that can be practically applied into our lives. Chaliye, let's go forward. So that was Bodhi Durlabh Bhavna. Bodhi is wisdom and Durlabh is rarity of wisdom. And then let's come to Dharma Bhavana. Now, this is very beautiful. And we have done this before, okay? But it is so good. Every class we should be saying this. I would love if some of you could write this in English. चिर रक्षक धर्म हमारा हो धर्म हमारा चिर साथी जग में न हमारा कोई था हम भी न रहे जग के साथी. So there's one bhavana. These 12 contemplations are very, very important because they will take us towards the soul. Let dharma, Samyak, मैं आपको म्यूट करती हूँ बेटा. Let dharma be my eternal protector. Okay? Chir rakshak, like forever may I be protected by dharma. And may dharma be my companion forever. Okay, my friends might come and go. Your friends are junior school and then middle or high school. You'll have different friends. Okay, and then at work. But Let Dharma, let Pancha Parmeshti be my friends forever, my best friends forever. Jag mein na hamara koi tha. Remember, the first bhavana told us anityata. Nothing is permanent. No one belongs to me in this world. और हम भी न रहे जग के साथी. I'm not going to be around for very long. And what does this sentence mean? हम हम भी न रहे जग के साथी. It tells us that life is way too short. See how in the first three kals or in the fourth kal, the lifespan of our Tirthankars was so long. And for how long can we live maximum? What is the
Like
max?
9 years old.
Yes. So the maximum ayu for the fifth kal is 120 years. And even our Tirthankar, Mahavir Bhagwan, he lived only for 72 years. Okay, towards the end of the fourth kal. So we are definitely not going to live. And who wants to live even more than 100 years? Because you remember that thing I used to tell you? आँख पे पड़ेगा जाला, कान पे पड़ेगा ताला, नाक से बहेगा नाला, तब तू क्या करेगा लाला? So you're not going to be able to see, you won't be able to hear, you'll be so weak and frail. And what even do you want to do? Do you think, now does any one of you here think that I'm too busy now? I'll come to you in a second, Arhan. Okay? धर्म है ना, मैं बचपन में नहीं करूंगा. I'll do it when I grow really old. Well, that time I'll have lots of time. You think that would be true? Never. If not now, remember this rule. If not now, we'll never do it. If we don't attain Samyak Darshan now, there'll never ever be a best time to do it. If we don't prepare ourselves and embark on the Moksha Marg now, we will never do it because we've got the best of the Sayog, the best of the external situations, the best of the favorable circumstances are now. Yes, Arhan, followed by Tara. Bolo beta.
Notice something that Mahavir Bhagwan he turned into Arihanta at 72 and Acharya Shri got Samadhi Maran at 72.
Right. Was he 72? Was he 76?
I think he was 72.
Okay. I had heard he was 76, but I'll check that out. All right. Yes. Chali. So, so Chira Rakshaka Dharma Hamara Ho. Maybe we can use this as a phrase to start every, maybe you can say this every single day, as a personal bhavna that may Dharma always be my companion and may the five Parmeshtis always be in my heart. Okay. Now, those were the 12 bhavanas. And what did you even learn from the 12 bhavanas? What was your takeaway from the 12 bhavanas? Chalo, batao. Arhan, stop scribbling there. Out of the 12 bhavanas, which bhavana really struck in your mind? This is something I'm going to follow right from today. Yes, Tara. Bolo beta.
Probably Ekatva Bhavana.
Because Ekatva bhavana tells you, I am alone. I am a pure soul. I'm not connected with anyone else. Yes, Shiranshi. That's great.
Anitya Bhavna.
Yes, the first one is, and there's a reason why they are given in a particular sequence. Anitya, everything is transient except for dash. Bolo?
Atma.
Yes. Okay. So yes, Anavi, bolo beta.
So after the first class where we started Bara Bhavna, at first I used to go to the Stuti class where I learned Bara Bhavna, like the whole Stuti, and then I started learning that again. So it's really interesting, like seeing the Bhavnas, and I never thought about really how when we come into this world we have nothing, and then when we go from this world we have nothing. And there's also a lot of versions of Bara Bhavna, like the same meaning but different words.
Right. Do you know how many versions of Bara Bhavna there are? There's at least 100. And I'm not saying we should learn all the 100, but at least one or two. Okay, this was one Bara Bhavna, Raja Rana Chhatrapati, and like Sanavi has learned it. Do you think every class we should recite like maybe 2 stanzas? Okay, and then you can revise it during the week, and maybe in a few months' time we'll learn them. Okay, another Bara Bhavna we're going to learn is Dravya Rupa Kari Sarvathir. So if you look from the Dravya aspect, okay, we've learned Dravya Gun Paryaya, okay, everything is permanent. But if you look from the Paryaya aspect, Everything is transient. Okay? But we see things, we see only forms of things, right? Because the forms are constantly changing. And that's why it said anitya. Everything is transient. See, Acharya Shri, he had so much punya. The austerities, the power of his tap was so much. But in spite of that, he also fell sick. So karmas will not spare any of us. We do as much punya? Do we do as much tap? No. So remember, you remember how I always say we will be hit by the karma bus? So make sure that they are good karmas. Okay? Because we are going to be the bearer of their fruits. Chali. Now we are going to see Dev Shastra, Sache Dev Shastra or Guru. And we have completed this chapter. Who remembers that we had studied the characteristics of Sache Dev Shastra and Guru? Yes, we had. Okay, we'll do a quick revision. Now, before that, we are going to in Vitra. Samyak, आपको question है बेटा? No. Okay. In Vitarag Vigyan, also in every chapter, we are going to learn the um, the life story of any one acharya. Okay, because see how we join for Kahoot, and then we learn about we log in with different names, so we can log in with some acharya names. So today we are going to learn about this very great acharya whose name is Samantabhadra Acharya. Okay, he was so famous. Yet the thing with all these famous people is they write nothing about their own. Okay, and he had the most splendid works. He was actually a prince. Okay, he was a prince of the Kadam dynasty of kings, and his birth name was Shanti Varma. And he was born in this place called Uragpur, towards the bank, near the bank of the Kaveri River. And nothing is known about his family life, but he was very young when he got initiated as a Digambar Muni Raj, when he got Diksha. Who remembers at what age did Mahavir Bhagwan take Diksha?
33.
Sorry, 33? No, you were close. 30. Who remembers when did Kunda Kunda Acharya? He took Diksha at a very young age. What age? Bolo, koi bhi bolo.
15?
Sorry?
8?
15?
Not 8, not 15, somewhere in between. 11.
10?
11 plus 11.
12?
Yes, it was 11 and 12. Okay, around that time. So some places it's written 11 and some 12. So around that time. Okay. So even Acharya Samantabhadra, he became a monk very young. How many people do we have 11 years here? 11 years or more. And imagine the sort of things we think about. Okay, when I was 11, I never had any idea about how life is so anitya, and the only way to get to the path of on the soul, on the path shown by the acharyas, is to learn Jainism and to follow that. Become a monk, become a Muniraj or a Arika Mata. Now, apart from being a great scholar of Jain Darshan, Jain philosophy, and I've told you what the word philosophy means. Who remembers? Philo is love for, and Sophia. Sophie comes from Sophia, which is wisdom, love for wisdom. And where does wisdom come from? Our soul. That's right. So he was an incomparable master. He was so good at logic, which is Jain Nyay, grammar, which is Vyakaran. I don't know what prosody is, poetry, and lexicography. His writings were amazing. Does anyone want to look up what prosody is? I've never even heard that word before. He was possessed of a matchless power of exposition of the holy text. He was a great debater, okay? And he shattered the pride of perverted orators of religious thought. He used to say, I roam about like a lion for exposition of the religious truth. Exposition means to speak about the religious truth. And the later acharyas, the acharyas who happened after him, they had so much respect and adoration for him. Guess which were the grunts which he wrote? He wrote Aptamimansa, Tatvanushasan, Yuktanushasan, Swayambhu Stotra, Jin Stuti Shatak, Ratnakaran Shravkachar, Prakrit Vyakaran, Praman Padartha, Karma Prabhrutika, and Gandhasti Mahabhashya. And he also wrote one big grantha of code of conduct for householders, for Shravaks, that is Ratnakaran Shravakachar. And we will learn about that text as well once you graduate, okay, from Vitrag Vigyan at a later time. So today we are going to learn about the God, matlab Sache Dev, Guru, or Shastra. Yes, Arvi? Bolo beta.
So, there were, like, when I searched up Gandhasi Mahaba, I think that's how you pronounce it, right?
Yeah.
I searched it up and I found 2 links, okay?
Hmm.
And Google. So one of the links, it said that somewhere from like another country, I don't remember, stole the book from somewhere in India,
Yeah.
and from there another country stole the book,
Mm-hmm.
but nobody knows which country stole the book.
Right. And we don't know either where it is.
Yeah,
Okay. But the
and
content.
and
Yeah.
another on Google, it was continuously just giving like Gandhi for an example, even though they're 2 different things and people.
Yeah.
And the third link I found,
Hmm.
the same thing as the first link I found.
All right. Okay. So the bottom line is we do not have this big Shastra. You know how big it was? It was 8,000 Shlok Praman. That's the biggest, it would be the biggest scripture on Jainism and with the greatest on Jainism. But unfortunately, we don't have that. Yet, whatever we have is enough for us to attain Samyak Darshan. Okay. So we have done this chapter before. I'm very sure because I remember some of your questions as well. Okay, so we'll go through it. So, what are real gods? So, jo Vitarag, Sarvagya, or Hitopdeshi. True God is one who is free from worldly attachments. Okay, no rag, no dvesh. Free from worldly attachment is Vitarag, omniscient is Sarvagya, and Hitopadeshi, preceptor of the welfare of all. Just like Acharya Shri, he wanted everyone to live a peaceful life. Okay, he wanted not just humans, but he worked even for animals. Okay, so that everyone can live a peaceful life. So one who has no like or dislike for anybody is unattached. He does not possess the 18 blemishes. 18 dosh nahi hote. You remember we learned the 18 dosh? Janma, which is birth, death, becoming old, disease, being surprised, being in grief, attachment, aversion, um, and sorrow. Visma, rog, disease, shok is grief again, arat, khed, rag, dvesh, attachment, aversion, and death. These are the 18 dosh which arihants do not have. Okay? Now tell me, what is the difference between arihant and siddha? When we say arihant is vitarag sarvagehitopdeshi, how different is that with the siddhas, from the siddhas? Quickly, koi bhi batao.
The Siddhas are in moksha.
Yes, you're right. So, siddhas are in moksha. So, how many qualities out of the three do they have?
2.
That's right. Just Vitarag and Sarvagita. Very good. Okay. Why aren't they Hitopdeshi? Because they don't have a body and they are not in Sansar anymore. And they live with infinite other siddhas. And do you think the other siddhas would need Upadesh? No, they have attained their final goal. Okay. So, who is Vitarag? One who is free from rag and dvesh. Vit matlab beat gaya. No more do they have rag. And it's very obvious that they don't have rag, so they don't have any dvesh as well. Does everyone know what rag and dvesh is by now? We all do. And aren't we all champions and masters of rag and dvesh? Right from childhood. Look, even a baby, when the baby is hungry, what does the baby do? Get very angry. And imagine when the baby grows up into a small little child or a toddler, and mom and dad are away, the baby would get very hostile. The baby would throw tantrums if he's hungry or if he's not given what he wants. So we all are such champions at this. And what is it that needs to change? We need to stop doing this rag and dvesh, which means we need to come closer to our soul and stay engrossed in the soul. Now, one who knows everything is Sarvakya. Sarva means everything. Gya means gyan. And what is the power of Sarvagyata? They know everything about the infinite substances in the world, not just one thing, like not just the present. They know the past, the present, and the future of all the dravyas in the world. And here comes the interesting part. They know all these ten tenses, past, present, future, simultaneously. इसको कहते हैं युगपत. They know everything together. How cool is that? Okay? If we understand the glory, the mahima of Vitaragta and Sarvagyata, definitely we will very, very soon attain that state. Now, one who is without attachment and aversion and possess perfect knowledge is God. That's right. And whatever the precepts of such a person, precepts means the preachings, they will be good for everyone. Why do you think Arihant Bhagwan has never told lies? Or rather, why would you believe in whatever Arihants say, in whatever our Shastras have said? Why would you and I believe in them? Bolo, koi bhi bolo. Yes, yes, Tara, come on, quick.
We would believe because whoever said those words couldn't have gotten to that stage without whatever he learned from
Yeah.
other shastras.
Good. Why do you think? You're right. But why do you think what he learned, there's nothing wrong in it? Everything is 100% true. Why do you think so? Or why do you think he wouldn't cheat us? Why wouldn't think you think he would write something that's false? Yes, Arvi?
If they did it on purpose, meaning that they meant to do it, and they know that they did it wrong if they did it on purpose, and they know that they would get bop for writing wrong. Because then, if they wrote wrong, then we would be learning wrong, and then we would tell others wrong if we were teaching our kids, and that continuously happening and happening and happening, and the person who wrote wrong will get a lot of bop eventually.
Right. And see, there's one simple point I'm looking for here. They will never say anything that's wrong, or rather, they'll be perfect because they are Vitarag. And with Vitaragta comes Sarvagyata, one who sees everything as it is, crystal clear, no flaws at all. So, first you become Vitarag, with Vitaragta comes Sarvagyata, and only then they preach out. Okay? Are you or I Sarvagya? No. Why not? Because we have Rag and Dvesh. So we need to work on our Samta. We need to work on going closer to His soul, engrossing us in that soul, so that we become Vitarag, and then the Sarvagyata will come automatically. Do you think they would have read lots of dictionaries and lots of encyclopedias to become Sarvagya? Well, definitely not. Their encyclopedia was their only soul, which has infinite knowledge. Chali. So, did you understand the importance of Vitarag and Sarvagita? In order to be Hitopadeshi, no layman, okay, Tom and Harry can become Hitopadeshi because it does not come without being Vitarag. Okay? And that's why tomorrow, if I tell you all that I know, all that I tell in Patshala, I know everything in this whole wide world. Will you believe in me? You better not, because we know these three important points. You have to be a Vitarag in order to be a Sarvagya and a Hitopadeshi. So this is teaching us, Samanta Bhadracharya is teaching us this wonderful power of discrimination between the perfect and the imperfect. We are all imperfect souls, and we should follow the path of the perfected ones. Now, so this says, the next paragraph says, why are his teachings true and good? We tell lies, or one can only tell lie due to ignorance. Jab moha ho, jab delusion ho. But once you have perfect knowledge, everything that someone preaches is right. And plus, no attachment, no aversion. So everything that he utters, that he says in the Divyadvani, in the form of Om, is conducive. It's very favorable for all living beings. Okay? And the teachings of the God, they are his scriptures. Who is the one present in the Sum of Sharan who composes the Dwadashangi? So Bhagwan gives the Divyadvani, and who in the Sum of Sharan? We've studied this before. Come on, quick revision. Yes, koi bhi bolo.
Gandhar.
Gandhar.
Yes, it is the Gandhar. Okay. Sorry. And the Gandhars, they compose the Dvadashangi, which is like a systematic format of all that came in the Divya Dvani. Okay. Any questions? No. What do we gain? Why do we even read Janvani? What is the benefit of reading this? Now see, well, a person is saved from treading on wrong paths. The thing is, because we believe that this Janvani is written by Arihant, is the words which Arihant Bhagwan has told us, we will be saved from walking on the wrong path. And imagine we'll be saved from so much pap and saved from so much pain in sansar. Okay, so today we have known about the nature of God, Sache Dev, Sache Shastra, and now let's go to Sache Guru. Who are our Sache Gurus? The teachers in school or college? No. Here by Guru we mean the ones who follow the path shown by our Tirthankars, shown by Arihants. Okay, and they are the ones who read the Shastras and they also narrate about the Shastras. Okay, so what do the Gurus even do? They are always busy in contemplation and study of the self, study of the scriptures and study of the self. Because all the scriptures, no matter which Jain Shastra you take, do you think there is any Jain Shastra which will take us away from the soul? No. All of the Shastras, they might tell us about the 6 types of dravyas, Jeev, Pudgal, Dharma, Dharma, Akash, Kal, Jiva, Jivastra, Vansavan, Nirjana, Moksha. But the only intention of all that narration is to come close to your soul. Okay? Without knowing about their soul or without engrossing in the soul, do you think anyone can become a real guru or such a muni? No. Okay. So we saw Sache Dev, Sache Shastra, and Sache Guru. Okay. Now, the root of matter is to understand the soul and rest in it, stay engrossed in it. Right faith, knowledge, and conduct, and the external mode of life. Whatever the gurus do, they are charya. Okay. Um, and the scriptures. These are they follow the scriptures. These are the qualities of a Sache Guru. Okay. So we are going to offer homage. We bow down to Sache Dev, Sache Shastra, and Sache Guru. Okay. Now, this little boy here, there's this conversation between two. Guess what he asked? He says, well, I will pray to all 3 of them. But tell me, what is the gain? What will I get from them? Isn't he such a silly boy or girl, whoever that was? I'm sure he never went to Pathshala. Okay. And then his friend was telling him, are you again talking nonsense? What an idiot are you? He says, we worship them in order to become like them. So maybe this Prabodh was some one of you from Pathshala, okay, who knew that we don't ask for anything in sansar. Okay. They renounced all the worldly possessions. Our gurus have given up everything. And do you think they can give you anything? No way. How is it proper to beg for worldly things from them? In, in the sense, they cannot give you anything, and stop asking things from them. That was about Sache Dev Shastra Guru, which we have studied before. Now tell me, who remembers about the Sache Shastra Dev Shastra Guru? We've studied this a few times. No, Avika says no. Tara goes, not sure. Yes, no. But now will you forget this? No. Has it nicely been ingrained in your brain now? Achhe se? Yes. Excellent. And thank you, Jia. Jia says prosody means the patterns of rhythm and sound used in poetry. Thank you for that. So Acharya Samantabhadra, he wrote these beautiful stutis. Okay. So the grammatics in which he wrote it must be prosody. Okay. Very nice. Should we finish for today? And next week onwards, it's going to be very, very interesting learning because we are going to learn about Sat Tattva Sambandhi Bhool. Okay? Has anyone heard about the faults, the mistakes we make in understanding the Sat Tattvas? This is going to be life-changing. And after that, we are going to learn about very interesting topics this term. Okay? So I would, no one should miss even a single class. And Arham and Archa, if possible, join right on time, beta. ठीक है? चलिए, should we finish? हाँ बोलो आरवी.
I was just gonna ask if I could do this stuti.
Yes, yes, sure.
Niche niti niche me.
ये बता दी यह अनंत उपकार है उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना बार है उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना बार है
Jai Jinendra.
जय जिनेंद्र
Jai Jinendra. Just 1 second. Don't leave 1 second. I've got something important to announce here. Give me 1 second.